Dallas Cowboys find themselves at the center of a growing issue, one that involved their defensive cornerstone, Micah Parsons. What began as a routine contract negotiation has escalated into a tense and public standoff between Parsons and team ownership. Reports still unconfirmed suggest that Jerry Jones had floated an offer north of $200 million. That still has not been clarified if that's true or not, but whatever figure was actually placed on the table, it clearly wasn't enough for Micah. Since then, Parsons appeared increasingly frustrated, not only with the terms of the deal, but with the overall handling of the situation regarding the front office. His dissatisfaction has reportedly reached a boiling point, culminating in a formal trade request. While initially brushed off as the emotionally response of a frustrated player, his demand has since taken on a life of its own, signaling a serious fracture between one of the league's brightest young stars and one of the most iconic franchises. The question now isn't about numbers on the contract. Rather, it's about value, leadership, and legacy. Is Michael Parsons worth the drama, or are the Cowboys better off moving on? We're going to unpack that, but before we dive into it, like, share, and subscribe. Your support goes a long way. While Michael Parsons is undeniably one of the most electrifying talents in the NFL today, extending his contract long term may not be as straightforward as it seems. On the surface, locking in a dynamic pass rusher like Parsons would appear to be a no-brainer for the Dallas Cowboys. However, deep evaluation revealed legitimate concerns that could complicate such a commitment. One issue stems from Parsons' personality and off-field presence. At times, his flair for drama and tendency to draw attention can be a distraction to the team in a locker room that is already under the microscope of a national media and high expectations. The Cowboys must weigh whether Parsons' larger-than-life persona complements or disrupts the chemistry of the team. Additionally, there are valid durability concerns. Parsons' playing style is high-octane and physically demanding, but his relatively lean frame raises questions about, how well can he sustain that level of intensity over the next 5 or 6 years? The physical toll of the NFL, particularly for a player who constantly battles in the trenches, is no small matter. Longevity is crucial when negotiating a mega deal, and the risk of wear and tear must be considered. None of this is to discount Parsons' impact or potential. He is a rare talent with game-changing ability. However, the Cowboys would be wise to approach his extension with both eyes open, balancing excitement with caution and star power with sustainability. All that being said, Michael Parsons' production on field speaks for itself. Since entering the league, he has consistently delivered elite-level performance, racking up 12 or more sacks in each of his seasons, a feat that places him among the NFL's premier defensive players. Beyond the stat sheet, Parsons brings an infectious personality and intensity that galvanizes the Cowboys' defense and sets the emotional tone on game day. Adding to his appeal is a public statement that he would be open to signing a team-friendly deal in order to help the organization maintain competitiveness. In an era where top-tier players routinely command record-setting contracts, such a gesture signals maturity and loyalty qualities that front offices deeply value. However, one could argue that this level of transparency may not have served him best. Negotiations of this magnitude are often more effective when handled privately between player representatives and the team rather than played out in public eye. Nevertheless, Parsons' willingness to prioritize the team's broader success over personal gain reflects a rare mindset in today's NFL's landscape. It's a glimpse into a kind of leadership and self-awareness that, if channeled correctly, could make him not just a defensive cornerstone but a cultural one for the Cowboys. Regardless, the ongoing mismanagement of Parsons' situation appears to have pushed him to the brink. At this point, he seems firmly entrenched in his stance, showing little indication of backing down. Despite Micah Parsons' consistent production, high-impact play, and magnetic presence in the locker room, his future with the Dallas Cowboys has grown increasingly uncertain. His talent is unquestioned. Few players enter the league and instantly dominate the way Parsons has, and even fewer manage to maintain such a high level of play year after year. His infectious energy, coupled with his public willingness to take a team-friendly deal, makes him on paper the kind of player any franchise would want to build around. Yet, the reality is more complicated. Parsons' penchant for drama has occasionally overshadowed his on-field brilliance. Combine that with long-term durability concerns, given his lean frame and high-impact style, and the situation becomes more fragile. Most critically, the handling of his contract negotiations by Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office has been, by all accounts, deeply flawed. What could have been a straightforward extension for one of the league's brightest stars has developed into a tense and seemingly irreparable standoff. At this point, Parsons appears fatigued by the entire process, and reports suggest that the relationship may have been damaged beyond repair. From a purely strategic standpoint, trading Parsons while his value is still at its peak could benefit Dallas in both the short and long term. The Cowboys could command a significant return, high draft picks, established players, and crucial cap space that could be used to address major areas of need, particularly the safety, corner, and wide receiver positions. Among potential destinations, the Las Vegas Raiders stand out as the ideal fit, in my opinion. Parsons would be paired with another elite pass rusher in Max Crosby, giving him a chance to thrive in a dynamic defensive tandem. Las Vegas, with its large media market and flashy culture, aligns with Parsons' larger-than-life personality. Perhaps more importantly, the Raiders have the cap space to offer him the contract he's seeking, something Dallas may not be willing or able to do at this current moment. Sometimes parting ways with a star player isn't a step backward, it's a necessary evolution. In this case, it may be what's best for both Parsons and the Cowboys. If you do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. Be much appreciated. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you for listening.